press people button.
How's everyone doing today? This is Trent from the Drunken Public Service YouTube channel, and this is a video from the Dips favorite list. Today I want to talk about my favorite television show. When you ask this question out there, you get answers like Game of Thrones and Walking Dead and The Sopranos and The Simpsons, and there are so many great answers to this. Most of them are a little too on the nose for me, so I go a little off the beaten path. My favorite show of all time is this ridiculous thing that used to air on the USA Network called Psych. It ran from 2006 to 2014 and spanned 121 episodes, 8 seasons. How do I begin to express my love of Psych? Created by Steve Franks, starring Dule Hill of West Wing fame and Sean Roday, James Roday, who played Sean. James Roday, who before this show really hadn't done much of note, very, very little. This was the show that put him on the map. I love him. He's absolutely brilliant. And his relationship with Dule, who plays a character named Gus on the show, is just absolutely dynamite. The show is about a fake psychic detective. He's just a hyper-observant guy who was trained by his dad, who was a cop. And he goes on to solve a whole lot of crimes. Most of them are murders, which would make, between this period of time, the 8 seasons would be Santa Barbara, where it's based. It would be the weird murder capital of the world, without question. The show is a love poem. It is an ode to growing up in the 80s and early 90s. The pop culture references are beautiful, fast-paced, constant. They do themed episodes, everything from Friday the 13th and John Hughes movies to Clue. And I gotta tell you, if you haven't sat down and watched Psych, you're really missing out. And if you gave up on it a little too early, I actually understand that. Season 1 is a little slow. It does start gaining speed in the back half of season 1, and then it really takes off in season 2, and by season 3 it hits stride, and it's wonderful. So if you haven't watched Psych, you gotta start. It runs on syndication, actually. The Ion channel purchased it. I'm not sure why, but I guess it was cheap. Runs in syndication on Ion. It's available on Netflix, the whole series, which is dynamite. It's also available on DVD. They're relatively inexpensive now. Target carries them, Walmart carries them. I mean, you can find those DVDs out there pretty easily. But the easiest way to do it's Netflix. I've seen every episode at least 4 or 5 times at this point. It really is a love letter to growing up in the 80s and early 90s, just like I did. The characters are the same age I am. Steve Franks obviously had his thumb on the pulse of that, and they just crush it. Psych is an hour-long episodic television show. The episodes do stand alone to a degree, though it behooves you to have the full backstory and to follow it sequentially as well. Wonderful performances up and down. A slew of fun and awesome guest stars. Kevin Sorbo, Carrie Elwes is a recurring guest star, and he is so awesome. Ali Sheedy, Molly Ringwald, tons of guest stars from the 80s and early 90s, from all of these films and all of these things that they reference. They show up. Judd Nelson showing up in season 6. It's like, get out of here! You got to be kidding me! It's just what a top notch, fun machine. Psych, to put it in the words of my best friend Matt, was the best show that NBC didn't want you to see. NBC owned USA at the time, and they stuck this thing in some of the worst time slots. But it persevered and made it through 8 years. Dedicated fan base known as Psychos. Still follow everybody on social media to this day. James Rode and Dule Hill, Timothy Amundsen, Karen Nelson, Maggie Lawson, who's wonderful. I can't say enough good things about the show. If you haven't seen Psych, get out there and watch it. What can I say? It's the dip's favorite. I binge watch it on Netflix every time I think, I don't know what I want to watch. I got an hour or 2 hours to kill. I can squeeze in 2 or 3 episodes of Psych. So catch Psych. You'll thank me later. You just got to kind of get through the slow build. And man, the show's great, especially the later episodes. So enjoy. It's my gift to you.